Hi everyone, it's Amanda. Thank you for tuning in to Shadow Radio. Today we're recapping with Brett at the Osborne trailer here in Nebraska. So, how are you doing, Brett?
Oh, I'm doing good. This is obviously the second time we've been to this location. And so it's pretty interesting to be recapping a place for our second time on the channel.
Very true, very true. Okay, so how quickly would you say that the activity started?
Well, let's see here. I was actually setting up. I was setting up some cameras and setting up the REM pod and some standstills. Hadn't even really pulled out the cat balls yet. The REM pod, actually, I waited till after the cat balls. And I noticed I could hear a sound. It sounded like almost like a rustling or walking through the back room area. So I was all like, okay, well, I need to pay attention to that because obviously the back room, the last time we were there, that back room area gave off some weird vibes. So from that point, I was all like, okay, I'm gonna make sure the camera's running. That way if we capture anything, I can get it, And that was about 30 minutes after being there, I would have to say. So I got the camera going and put the REM pod out, and the REM pod instantly got something, and that was about 30 minutes in. So I heard the sound right before all that, and it all happened about 30 minutes after being there.
Nice. Very, very nice. That's awesome that they were communicating with you. Let's see. What was your favorite part of the investigation?
Okay, so during a part of the night, I was just sitting in the chair and sort of just getting a feel for the location and why it seemed to be different from the first time and the second time to me. And the REM pod goes off.
Okay.
And then I look to the left, and there's a white auxiliary cord swinging on a shelf. And it's almost simultaneously when it's happening. I was thinking to myself, what the heck?
Right.
Obviously, that's right next to me. I didn't bump it. I couldn't even reach it. I tried leaning over in the video to show. And it was crazy. It was crazy.
I can only imagine how crazy it was. So, what was the most, mysterious thing to happen that, you were like, what the heck caused that, so to speak?
I would have to say, while I was sitting there doing the SB7,
All right.
there was a lot of pretty clear communication, and the REM pod was just going crazy. And at that point, I was all like, that's a lot of energy to set off the REM pod, the cat ball, and
Right.
and it's just, to me, it's just a little eye-opening, for a place without power. And I mean, I just felt like that's probably the most I've seen that REM pod go off at that location. Most aggressive I've ever seen it go off at that location both times.
Yeah, I happened to notice that too. I was like, wow, myself. All right. Okay. All right. So the doll that you laid down, I couldn't help but notice that it seemed like it was moving. Can you?
Oh, yeah, the doll. That was very interesting. Start off the night, I did a spirit box session.
Right.
And that spirit box, it said doll. And so I was all like, okay, well, the only doll that was in the house was the doll we used for investigating. And I was all like, do you like the doll? And it sounded like it said yeah. And so I put it down on the floor. I think I put it somewhere else first, but I ended up putting it in the middle of the floor, okay? And I moved it one time. And when I moved it, it's because I had took a cat ball from it and put the cat ball in a different area to see if maybe if I put that cat ball in that area, it would go up. And so I moved it one time. And then later on in the night, it definitely was not in the same spot. And when I went up and down that hallway, I made sure to, like, step to the sides, make sure I wasn't anywhere near the cat balls or that doll or the motion sensor lights and the REM pod, But the motion sensor lights, the REM pod, those were going off when I went down the hallway. Cat balls, though, I have to say, when I went up and down that hallway, the cat balls didn't seem to go off.
Yeah, I noticed that too. So, all right. Doll is just mind-boggling. So what could you say possibly was interacting with you?
I'm not for sure, because at one point in time it's saying demonic or demon, right, or something like that. Something came through saying family, which you can never, you can't feed into some of that stuff, especially if demons being said and stuff like that, And there was a point where I thought I could hear a couple names. It was just hard to make out. And funny thing is you remember the first time we were there, we got girls. Like, it sounded like girls giggling or a girl running or a girl doing something, Right. And during the spirit box session, I got a girl chuckling. And I was all like, and it was right when I asked the question about, is one of the girls here from last time we were here that we captured on, And I heard a giggle, what sounded like a little child giggle. And thought that was interesting for sure. And so I don't really know. You never really know, to be honest with you, but in some cases it's more clear.
Right, for sure.
But this definitely, I think it's a mixture. I do think it's a mixture. I don't think it's one thing, It seemed like, every time I would turn, something would happen. So like if I were looking at an object because it was going off, I would turn a little bit later and notice, like, out of my peripheral, the cat ball's going off. So I had to, that happened to me. And then obviously I angled the camera that way it was able to capture the hallway and the REM pod when the REM pod was going off and the cat ball was going off.
That's for sure.
So, and, I would think that there's more than one spirit entity, whichever you would like to call it, there, because of the fact that multiple things were going off at once. You know what I mean? And not just that, but the communication that was going on.
Right. That is very true. Very, very, very true. So, my last question to you will have to be, do you think you'll be able to go there at least one more time?
Yeah, I would really like to go there again. But I think if we do end up going there, it's going to be a little bit, just because we got a lot in store and we just happen to be in the area checking out some other locations for some other great content that we're about to be dropping on this channel also. And, but not going to lie, these first two experiences at that trailer, which I didn't think we were going to get too much going on at that location.
Right.
But I understand now why the owner said that they were having experiences, because obviously we captured experiences both times we've been there. And unfortunately, we have other stuff for the channel coming up, but it's great that we were able to circle back when we could. And maybe sometime down the road we can circle back again. Figured maybe when you're able to investigate again, that would be a good opportunity for us to go check out. Since the fact that you're pregnant again, we've been, holding off on those investigations until after. But, I feel like that would be a good one to circle back to with the whole group. With the whole group this time, rather than just me and Trey have the group there, so.
All right. With that being said, Everyone, thank you for tuning into Shadow Radio. I will be tuning back into you in 2 weeks. So, have a great night. Bye.